When you start trading, there are two things you want to pay attention to. Your inputs and outputs. When you start trading, most likely your inputs are going to be greater than your outputs. You're going to be putting a lot of work in, but you're not going to be getting that many great results. Okay? May not even be getting any results. But then what you do is you start to optimize your processes and your inputs, which is exactly what we're doing now. You focus on high priority actions. And then what tends to happen over time is your inputs tend to get smaller and smaller. And then when you think about it, once you have a proven process, what do you need to do? You need to forecast a little bit. You need to set some alerts. When the market presents the opportunity, you need to set the order and take the trade. So realistically, your inputs can be very, very small once you've mastered and figured out exactly what you're looking for, which is exactly why we're asking these questions. And I encourage you to ask these questions again in 3 months' time with the new awareness you have. Now, once you have a proven input, you can then start to leverage your trading with more prop firms or private investment or more capital. So then what happens is you go from putting a lot of work in with not great results to putting lesser work in with good results, to eventually getting to the point of not putting all that much work in at all, but getting highly leveraged results because you got a trade copier, you got private investment, you got a few prop firms there. So the results you get over time are disproportionately better. That's why I'm so big on optimizing. And this, by the way, is in all areas of life. And really what you're paying attention to is leveraging and taking advantage of compound interest. I'll bring up a compound interest chart later on, but there's a certain point where for the first few years, the amount of work you're putting in, you're building momentum, you don't get that many great results. But then eventually it starts to compound. And there's a point where compound interest takes over and your results are significant. Starting to see this a little bit with my YouTube. Been doing it for 3 years and then, 2 years, and then year 2, year 3, it starts to grow a little bit more exponentially and it compounds. Same with trading, same with business, same with personal relationships, same with your health and fitness. But you can't leverage compound interest and asymmetric risk to reward or asymmetric input versus output if you're trying to do a lot of things that don't work and you're trying to carry an enormous amount of baggage. So hence the importance of optimization and figuring out what are the 80% that get you 20% of your results, getting rid of most of that, figuring out what is the 20% that gets you 80% of your results, leveraging that and sticking to that. This is why I have the AIM framework in the 12-week program. You guys are familiar with that? Weeks 1, 2, and 3. Figure out what your goal is, figure out what the high priority actions are, schedule those into a calendar, focus on working on those every day. Every 3 months, go back in there, figure out what's working, what's not, what's the 20% getting you 80% of results, optimize, go again.